So today we announced that starting Labor Day, we will have our students transition from in-person learning to virtual learning because of the COVID situation in our school district. As we have noticed the numbers in our community rise over time, the most recent numbers show that community spread is over 1,500 per 100,000 people. That's a very concerning number, and I've come to believe that in some cases, individuals are getting COVID and bringing it to school, and then they're continuing to spread. And so in order to ensure that we be respectful of our community, as well as looking at what's happening over Labor Day, we're going to go into asynchronous learning for 2 weeks so that we're able to see where we are and then assess how we want to move forward. So the remote learning plan we had last year was so we had teachers who would teach students online and in person. We listened to what parents said, we listened to what students said, and for some of them that was very difficult. They were online too long, and it was difficult for parents in order to make sure they had enough bandwidth so that they could have all students able to talk to their teachers. So this year we decided to go asynchronous. That means that teachers will be uploading lessons ahead of time, students will have assignments, and then they will be able to work those assignments as they see fit throughout the day. Teachers will still be inside the classrooms. They will have some office hours, at least 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the afternoon. And they will also be reaching out to students to make sure that we're maintaining this contact with them. Our belief is that this is going to be a short period of time for us to be virtual. We're looking at 2 weeks. And my belief is that if we can go asynchronous for that period of time, we'll be able to let students keep learning and we'll be able to keep our students and staff safe. So between now and the end of this week, I've shared with principals today our plan. We will now finish finalizing making sure all students can get online. We will make sure that all students have a device that they can take home. For those that would need a hotspot, we're going to make sure that we're ready to do that. And we're going to work with our community to see if we can provide food to students while they're out over the next 2 weeks. And we're going to make sure some of our new teachers are comfortable enough with Canvas and what we're doing. We wanted to make sure that if we were going to do this, that we were going to do it right. We did not want to rush into it. And so the question that some have asked already is, if the numbers are that bad, why are you going to let students come to school for another 2 days? I still believe our schools are safe. As long as we have students wearing a mask, as long as we can socially distance to 3 feet that the CDC and the Department of Public Health have recommended, as long as we have our bipolarization working inside our schools, I think we're doing a lot to make sure schools are safe. My concern now is that the community numbers are so high that I want to make sure that we're doing all we can to be a valuable part of the community and to support reducing the spread. So what I would ask is that parents recognize this was a hard decision. It was a very hard decision. We have worked hard. We have received federal funding and state funding to make sure we keep students in school. And so what the community can do to make sure this is only a 2-week period is keep wearing a mask. Be careful over Labor Day weekend. If you can, go out and get your child vaccinated. If you can, go ahead and get a vaccine as well. We're in this together, and our school is a reflection of our community. And if we're not willing to help one another, we're not going to be able to come out of this better. And so what we can do is just recognize that politics needs to get out of it. We need to just recognize school for students in person is the best place to be. And that's what we want. And I'm hopeful that this short recess is something that will let us get back to school so we don't have to continue this again. So one of the things that we learned from last year was that we needed a learning management system. That is called Canvas. Canvas allows students to sign into their classes, get their work, and teachers can see who signed in. So the question that parents may ask is, so how is my child going to be counted absent or will they be counted present? If they sign in to Canvas, they will be counted present, and then we can see how much work they're doing. If they sign in one time, then we know the internet's working. We know they should be doing all the work and not just sign out after 5 minutes. But if you remember, I said that teachers will have time during the day so they can call students to find out what's happening. So I think it's going to work out okay for us. What we have seen over time is that every Monday our numbers jump. And this Monday they jumped so that they were almost twice as high as they had been before. And so with Labor Day coming, knowing some families want to get together, I think this is a good time for us to stop and see what we can do. I will say again though, the numbers right now, 1,500 per 100,000 is high. I don't want to see it go any higher, and I'm trying to be a good partner in the community to model what it is we need to do in order to improve. We have to make some sacrifices, and part of those sacrifices is wearing a mask, getting a vaccine, and making sure students socially distance when they're out of school as well as when they're in school.